So I guess I will start this as a bit of a vlog type thing. But just wanted to make a video about some of the things that I'm struggling with currently, and how I'm gonna fix them. So I'm on my way to work, and I'm on my way to work, and I'm getting over a cold that was, honestly, it was caused by, so I was cleaning my bathroom, and I mixed a ton of chemicals, and if you don't know, now you know. You basically poison yourself, and you'll get yourself sick. So anyway, long story short, I'm here now, getting over this cold, and I don't know, I just feel kind of a little unmotivated, and I wouldn't say unmotivated, more like I feel down and out just because I couldn't do much for the last 5 days now. I was in bed, literally couldn't get up, and today was my first day getting back to working out and stuff, and made the first mistake of weighing myself, and didn't like what I saw. So there's struggle number one. I saw a little ducky right there. I need to get back into the rhythm of things and lose some weight. Oh my gosh. One thing about living so I recently moved into a different apartment. Oh! Okay, now I know I can't make. So like I was saying, I had recently moved into a new apartment, and there's so many dogs all the time, and I love seeing that. I love dogs. I love animals. But yeah, getting back into it, I'm feeling just down and out because I haven't been working out. I haven't been eating the best because I've been so sick. And I think I'm just struggling because I want to do so much, and I think I'm spreading myself so thin. Like, I've been trying to start this whole TikTok thing and teaching people how to be better with their personal finances, because it's really what I want to do. I want to help people, and I want to create a business in helping people. But what I'm struggling with is, how do you create a business? So my goal is to create a business in helping people create a budget for themselves, right? So whether it would be mostly aimed at people that are struggling with debt and want to pay off debt. And so I think that the best thing to do is just give somebody a visual to help them pay off the debt. But how do you charge somebody to want to better themselves in paying off debt? It just morally doesn't seem right to me. So I've been making videos to help people for free in hopes that someday it'll come in return. But it's been a real struggle because there's not much traction, and I think it's because I'm posting on TikTok, where it's a lot of short form content, versus YouTube, where it's people come to YouTube to educate themselves or for some sort of longer form of entertainment. I'm drinking black coffee. I forgot how good black coffee is. And I don't know how good Nespresso is, but it tastes good to me. So yeah, I think I'm just spreading myself way too thin, and I'm wanting to do so much, but nothing's getting done. And over the past week of being sick, I've just felt so unmotivated. Haven't been reading any books or anything like that, but I don't don't know. I think it's just a matter of getting back into it. There's this YouTuber that I watch. His name is Daily Driven Porsche, and he's always saying, getting dialed in. It's essentially what I'm trying to do, getting dialed in. And so yeah, if anybody, out there knows how to get that clientele to start a business and start budgeting or whatever it is that your business is about, I don't know, could you comment and share some pieces of advice? Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit. I think my mind is also infiltrated with a lot of wants. And I think that's very distracting. I think it's I'm overcomplicating my life. So by that I mean, like, I'm looking at getting a MacBook Pro in order to start. Oh, I just saw a Corvette pass by. To start on my spreadsheets to sell. That's another thing. I wanted to sell some debt trackers to help people work that on themselves. But these trackers are not as easy as people make it seem. These formulas. Maybe I'm just not as experienced in Excel as I thought I was, but formulas were a little bit of a struggle for me. Even using ChatGPT, believe it or not. I'm making a turn here, so I gotta hold on to everything. And it's taken me through a different route than I usually take, which makes me believe that there's an accident on the highway or something. Yeah, does anybody else struggle with the same thing? Or am I the only one? Like, sheesh. Yeah, I think so. Getting back into it, I think I'm overcomplicating myself with all these wants that I have. I literally have a list of all the things that I want, and then I don't buy right away, obviously, because I'm not an idiot. And if I were to buy everything I want right away, I'd probably be hundreds of thousands in debt, if not millions, I think. But I don't know. What I'll do is I need to just I need to focus. I need to my scope right now is way too wide. My scope needs to be like this. I need to make that thing smaller. But yeah, I'm gonna. So. So yeah, I'm trying to get really locked in and focused on my health and I wouldn't even call it a business at this point. It's just like a side thing that I want to do. I really want to get that thing started. I really want to make budgets for people, and I want to help people overcome their debt, because I know the struggle. I know what it's like to feel so burdened by the choices that you've made in your life. Just saw another I drive an Integra, and I just saw another Integra. They flashed their lights at me. I know what it's like to be burdened by your debt. I have been in debt, and I know what it's like to feel like you can't see the other side to it. Look at this Corvette. I just want to show you guys. Nice little Corvette. That blue, that Apex blue. I know what it's like to... Where was I? Oh, here comes the Teggy, the Integra that I was talking about. I know what it's like to be burdened by... Here, you'll see it on the side here. I'm not turning that camera around again. There she is. I know what it's like to be burdened by your debt, and I know what it's like to not be able to see the other side to being debt-free. And I just really, I want to help people get out of that. Oh, Porsche with the Apex blue. I think that was a 911. And I think, you know, for cases that aren't so extreme, bankruptcy is not an option, you know, unless you're really to the point where it is the only option that you have, and unfortunately you have to go through that. It's very it's a traumatic thing to go through. But for the vast majority of people, like, just get your shit together. And it's hard to get your shit together when you don't have the knowledge to get it together, if that makes any sense. You know, you're living above your means. And I was just talking about this. Living with lifestyle inflation is so real, and it creeps up on you. And if people talk about it and they're like, hey, don't fall into the lifestyle inflation scam and all that shit. No, dog, it gets to you. And I'm talking like, you'll get yourself a nicer piece of furniture just because you can afford a nice apartment just because you can afford it. And it's like, the reality is you can't afford it, and that's fine. Sorry, I just had to refocus the whole thing. What was I saying? Yeah, the reality is that you can afford that nicer apartment. You can afford the nicer laptop, and I'm talking to myself as well. I mean, I moved for other reasons, but the point is, I moved for safety, and that's not just what I'm telling myself. It's the truth. You tell yourself you can afford these things. You tell yourself that you can afford these nice shoes, the nicer vacations. Oh my gosh, the vacations, that you can go on all the vacations you want in the world. The reality is you can't. And you might be able to afford it now, but you're living way beyond your means, and it's until it catches up to you and it's too late and you're way too much in debt that you're nearly in bankruptcy, that you're like, well, why don't I screwed up, let me actually reach out for some help. Whew. And then at that point, it's a very traumatic thing to have to dial back your daily living, you know, where you like go to, I don't know, like Ferragamo or Dior, all these luxury places to get your clothes and all the things that you like to enjoy, whatever, to eat, all those nice places to eat. You're dialing back and you're going back to like Old Navy. Not that say that Old Navy is bad, I love Old Navy, but you're having to dial back and you're having to live below your means again. And once you go to the extreme of going above your means to the extent where you're now in debt, you're now having to dial back to the point where it's another extreme. So like, you never really find a balance until you've actually paid off your debt in full, right? So think of it like this. If you gain a lot of weight and you eat McDonald's every single day, and this is just an extreme example, you eat McDonald's every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you become obese, like heavily overweight, obese. You decide to lose all the weight. Are you ever going to have McDonald's? Rarely. And if ever, nothing. So you go from one extreme to the other of having too much of something, then too little of something. And then you have to find what your new balance is. Maybe have it once a week, or maybe have it once every 2 weeks, not for every meal, right? But then there's that underlying fear of, if I have McDonald's that one time a week or that one time every 2 weeks, I'm scared I'm going to come back to that 400 pounds or 500 pounds, wherever you were. That's a behavioral change that you need to make for yourself. And sometimes it takes therapy. Like, man. And I think all of us fall into that, mentality where we go from one extreme to the other and then have to find that balance all over again. And we're kind of scared to dip our toes into what we consider quote unquote bad. I'm rambling off, but I think it's such an important thing to live within your means. There's living beyond your means, and there's living below your means. There's living within your means. Yeah. I mean, it's hard, especially right now, because, like, for me, I want to buy a house, but it's so hard to buy a house. Fucking bitch. It's so hard to buy a house right now because everything is so damn expensive. And I know that I know egg prices went up, but that's because of the, oh my gosh, look at that vintage. Oh, that's a beauty. I don't know if you guys saw that in the background. I'm not changing the camera anymore. That shit took forever to reload again. And then oh man. Anyway, I got too many things on my mind, but yeah, just a long story short, just like living within your means is something that it's hard to keep, because let's say you get a raise you get a $10,000 raise in your salary. You now think that you can get this, that, and the other, and you can treat yourself to more times than one. And I always I need to work on this heavily. I need to work on the delayed gratification, because I'm always, and I'm talking about health. What the? Got all these little pebbles on my card. Especially when I'm out with like friends and stuff, and I'm out like in an outing, whatever, and I see like unhealthy food, like junk food or whatever, I'll go straight for it, just because I'm just thinking about my instant gratification and not my delayed gratification. And that is a very common thing to look at, especially in our society right now. Dude, I mean, no one's looking at the delayed gratification. No one's really buying stock. No one's really investing into themselves for the future. They're thinking about, what can I do right now? What can I get right now? And I'm giving the example of myself because, I weighed myself today and I was like, shit, I gotta get back into the groove of things because I'm not feeling good. And I can feel it, like, it's not something that I look at the scale and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. No, I expected that number. And I did it to myself. Like, there's no one else to blame but myself. And that's the thing with a lot of these problems. Like, there's no one else to blame but yourself. That's the first thing. And one of the, I'll make a whole another video about this. Man, something about merger lanes, they stress me out. I'll make a whole other video about this, but I'm finishing up the book, The Millionaire Fast Lane. It's really changed my perspective on a lot of things, and starting a business and all that. I think I just need to bite the bullet and expose myself to other companies or to other people and say, hey, I can help you with your personal finance. Like, if you're in debt, like, it's just so hard. How do you bring up such a sensitive topic? Like, knock knock, hey, are you in debt? How much are you in debt? I can help you with that. Oh gosh, I'd tell myself to fuck off. So annoying. I'd consider that worse than the fucking Jehovah's Witness. Anyway. I think what I want to leave everyone with is, oh, do you guys see that back there? Okay, so you saw those cranes? There's like a little generator hanging off of it. The reason why they're hanging off of the crane and they leave it there overnight is so people don't steal it. Because apparently it's a hot commodity. I don't know. My mom told me that. My mom works in she works for construction bonds. And don't ask me how that works, because I don't know. She's done that my whole life, and I still can't explain it. But yeah, I think acknowledging the struggles that I have and knowing how to move forward, which is really just simplifying my life, is the way to go. The more things you have on your plate, the more you have goals you have set for yourself, and I kind of screwed myself over, and I'll tell you in a little bit. The more goals you have set for yourself, the worse it is. If you've ever read the book, and I haven't finished it, but if you ever read the book, The One Thing, it focuses on it literally just focuses on simplifying your life to just one thing, one goal at a time, one task at a time. I think that's what the premise is. I started reading it and then I got fucking distracted. Ironic enough. Wait, I'm going 15 under the speed limit because this guy in front of me is so slow. After this guy, I'm gonna go. Oh, he's letting me go. Thanks, my guy. Thanks. Oh, because there's a dumpster truck in front of him. Anyway, what was I getting at? Oh, that ironically enough, I guess I got distracted and I started something else when I was trying to read The One Thing. But I needed to read that book after I finish The Millionaire Fast Lane. And really, you know what the most helpful thing... Oh, come on! I didn't even know we had those in Florida. Huh. The most interesting thing about all of this is that 99% of my problems would be solved if I just had a conversation with my girlfriend. Because it's important who you talk to about all your problems. If you just talk to somebody that's just gonna feel more fire into what you're trying to accomplish, you're never gonna get anywhere. I think talking to my girlfriend, she's always the one to kind of like bring me down to earth and bring me down to the present, because I'm always moving. Like, my mind is always a mile a minute. If you know that reference, let me know. But yeah, man, I think talking to her always helps, and I feel a lot better after talking to the camera. I can only just tell her so much, you know. But yeah, talking to somebody that will bring you back to the present. And not taking it defensively. I used to make that mistake with my girlfriend. I used to take everything she said as a jab, and I was always defensive. I still am to some extent, but I'm learning to not take everything as a hit. But we've been together 5 years, or 4 years. I'm gonna be 5 this year. But yeah, I think if this video has helped anybody, if anybody watches it, I don't know, but this is my journey to starting my business on personal finance and helping people with their personal finance. But yeah, I appreciate everybody watching, the 1 or 2 people that are watching. Love you guys. I'm gonna finish up my drive to work and probably listen to some music, the radio, whatever. Big fan of the radio.